the workbook of Course in Miracles. I do not perceive my own best interests. Remember to read the lesson first before you read the commentary. This lesson may be one of those lessons that it says in the introduction that it's hard to believe. It may seem bizarre, but that to just do the lesson, despite how bizarre it seems, it actually can be quite offensive to see that we don't perceive our own best interests. That just doesn't seem to be the case. Um, but what the lesson does in here is it has us take a look at what we're seeing as our interests, our best interests, in terms of the outcomes of situations, and it's getting us to uncover that we're perhaps making demands on a situation that um, really don't belong to that situation, or that our demands are contradictory or conflicting and therefore could never have the outcome. Um, so maybe one thing that would be helpful to remember is that the Course is saying we've forgotten who we are, and this is referring to our false self, because who we are is that peace and that love and joy, and that can be accomplished in any situation. So in sentence 5 here, that they really are your only goal, your best interests in any situation which is correctly perceived. And how we're perceiving them now, it doesn't seem as though our best interests are always met. Sometimes situations seem to have nothing to do with it. But here it's saying that it's implying that if our goal is to remember who we are, then every situation can be one that'll help us remind us of that. So uh, it starts with this: in no situation do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide and no way of judging them. Our perception of it comes first, and if the perception's wrong, then it won't serve our best interests. All right, so here is in this paragraph here, second one, if you realize that you do not perceive, is another example of the model in the workbook is that we have to undo the way we see things now so that we can perceive the way they really are. So it's undoing is the first half of the workbook, and then receiving uh, what is vision or our true interest. So that's what it's saying in this paragraph, is that if you think you know and you're wrong, then you can't realize what your own best interests are. So releasing what we think we know is the first step in finding out what we do. So it recognizes here in this paragraph that it seems rather outrageous to say we don't perceive our own best interests when suggesting it requires a lot of honesty on our parts. So it's having us take a few subjects honestly and carefully considered. Carefully is an important word there, is to really search inside. And in each of the 5 practice periods for today, uh, and so taking a few situations rather than a lot is probably better. And notice now that it's 2 minutes of mind searching, where most of the time, I think all the time, it's been 1 minute. So uh, then he gives the practice instructions. The practice period should begin with repeating today's idea, followed by searching the mind with eyes closed for unresolved situations with about which you're currently concerned. The emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome that you want. What do I want to happen? You will quickly realize you have a number of goals in mind. You will quickly realize that you have a number of goals in mind as part of the desired outcome, and also that these goals are on different levels and often conflict. In applying the idea for today, name each situation that occurs to you and then enumerate carefully as many goals as possible that you would like to be met in its resolution. And here's the application: in the situation involving, I would like blank to happen and blank to happen. So as many of those outcomes that you think should come. Try to cover as many different kinds of outcomes as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to be directly related to the situation or even to be inherent in it at all. So he's suggesting what will be the outcome of this if, in this next paragraph, if these exercises are done properly, you'll quickly realize you're making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. And you will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory, that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. I remember when I first did this lesson, I was thinking about my son, and what I uncovered in that of what I wanted was I wanted him A, to completely think for himself, and B, do exactly what I wanted him to do. So that's a bit contradictory. All right, so after uncovering the list of as many hoped for goals as possible for each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and then go on to the next. So, again, it's one of these lessons where even though it seems bizarre, and maybe it doesn't to you, but if it does, to just do it. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks.